doctor pats Jordan and me on the back and says, "Your dad should be fine if you're lucky. You boys will be fishing with him in no time." "We don't fish," I tell him. Mom shoots me a mean look. "Mrs. Bell, the myocardial infarction has caused some complications. Your husband's stable, but he's in a coma." In between sobs, JB barely gets his question out. "Will my dad be home for Christmas?" He looks at us and says, "Try talking to him. Maybe he can hear you, which could help him come back." "Well, maybe we're not in a talking mood," I say. "Joshua Bell, be respectful," Mom tells me. I shouldn't even be here. I should be putting on my uniform, stretching, getting ready to play in the county semifinals. But instead, I'm sitting in a smelly room at St. Luke's Hospital, listening to Mom sing Kumbaya, watching Jordan hold Dad's hand, wondering why I have to push water uphill with the rake, to talk to someone who isn't even listening, to miss the biggest game of my life. Myocardial infarction occurs when blood flow to an area of the heart is blocked for a long enough time that part of the heart muscle is damaged or dies. As in, JB says that he hates basketball because it was the one thing that Dad loved the most besides us, and it was the one thing that caused his myocardial infarction. As in, the doctor sees me Googling the symptoms: coughing, sweating, vomiting, nosebleeds, and he says, "We can't be sure what causes a myocardial infarction." I say, "What about donuts and fried chicken and genetics?" The doctor looks at my mom, then leaves. As in, Dad's in a coma because of a myocardial infarction, which is the same thing my grandfather died of. So what does that mean for me and JB? "Okay, Dad," the doctor says, "I should talk to you. That maybe you can hear and maybe you can't. Mom and JB have been talking your ear off all morning. So if you're listening, I'd like to know, when did you decide to jump ship? I thought you were the man. And one more thing. If we make it to the finals, I will not miss the big game for a small maybe." Mom, since you asked, I'll tell you why I'm so angry. Because Dad tried to dunk. Because I want to win a championship. Because I can't win a championship if I'm sitting in this smelly hospital. Because Dad told you he'd be here forever. Because I thought forever was like Mars far away. Because it turns out forever is like the mall right around the corner. Because Jordan doesn't like talk basketball anymore. Because Jordan cut my hair and didn't care. Because he was always drinking sweet tea. Because sometimes I get thirsty. Because I don't have anybody to talk to now. Because I feel empty with no hair. Because CPR doesn't work. Because my crossover should be better. Because if it was better, then Dad wouldn't have had the ball. Because if Dad hadn't had the ball, then he wouldn't have tried to dunk. Because if Dad hadn't tried to dunk, then we wouldn't be here. Because I don't want to be here. Because the only thing that matters is swish. Because our backboard is splintered. Text messages from Vondi. 8:05. Filthy. The game went double overtime before the last possession. 8:05. Coach called a timeout and had us all do a special chant on the sideline. 8:06. It was kind of creepy. The other team was LOL. I guess it worked because 8:06 we won 40-39. We dedicated the game ball to your pop. 8:07. Is he better? You and JB coming to practice? Filthy, you there? On Christmas Eve, Dad finally wakes up. He smiles at Mom, high-fives Jordan, then looks right at me and says, "Filthy, I didn't jump ship." Santa Claus stops by. We're celebrating Christmas in Dad's hospital room. Flowers and gifts and cheers surround him. Relatives from 5 states, aunts with collards and yams, cousins with hoots and hollers and runny noses. Mom's singing, Dad's playing spades with his brothers. I know the nurses can't wait for visiting hours to end. I can't either. Uncle Bob's turkey tastes like cardboard, and his lemon pound cake looks like Jell-O. But Hospital Santa has everyone singing, and all this joy is spoiling my mood. I can't remember the last time I smiled. Happy is a huge river right now, and I've forgotten how to swim. After 2 hours, Mom tells everyone it's time for Dad to get some rest. I hug 14 people, which is like drowning. When they leave, Dad calls Jordan and me over to the bed. Do y'all remember when you were 7 and JB wanted to swing, but all the swings were filled? And Filthy pushed that little redhead kid out of the swing so JB could take it? Well, it wasn't the right behavior, but the intention was righteous. You were there for each other. I want you both to always be there for each other. Jordan starts crying. Mom holds him and takes him outside for a walk. Me and Dad stare at each other for 10 minutes without saying a word. I tell him, I don't have anything to say. Filthy, silence doesn't mean we have run out of things to say, only that we are trying not to say them. So let's do this. I'll ask you a question, then you ask me a question, and we'll just keep asking until we both get some answers, okay? Sure, I say, but you go first. Questions. Have you been practicing your free throws? Why didn't you go to the doctors when Mom asked you? When is the game? Why didn't you ever take us fishing? Does your brother still have a girlfriend? Are you going to die? Do you really want to know? Why couldn't I save you? Don't you see that you did? Do you remember I kept pumping and breathing? Aren't I alive? Did y'all arrest Uncle Bob's turkey? It was just criminal what he did to that bird, wasn't it? You think this is funny? How's your brother? Is our family falling apart? You still think I should write a book? What does that have to do with anything? What if I call it basketball rules? Are you going to die? Do you know I love you, son? Don't you know the big game's tomorrow? Is it true Mom is letting you play? You think I shouldn't play? What do you think, Filthy? What about Jordan? Does he want to play? Don't you know he won't as long as you're in here? Don't you know I know that? So why don't you come home? Can't you see I can't? Why not? Don't you know it's complicated, Filthy? Why can't you call me by my real name? Josh, do you know what a heart attack is? Don't you remember I was there? Don't you see I need to be here so they can fix the damage that's been done to my heart? Who's going to fix the damage that's been done to mine? Tanka for language arts class. This Christmas was not merry, and I have not found joy in the new year, with Dad in the hospital for 19 days and counting. I don't think I'll ever get used to walking home from school alone, playing Madden alone, listening to Lil Wayne alone, going to the library alone, shooting free throws alone, watching ESPN alone, eating donuts alone, saying my prayers alone, now that Jordan's in love and Dad's living in a hospital. Basketball rule number 9. When the game is on the line, don't fear, grab the ball, take it to the hoop. As we're about to leave for the final game, the phone rings. Mom shrieks. I think the worst. I asked JB if he heard that. He's on his bunk listening to his iPod. Mom rushes past our room. Out of breath, JB jumps down from his bunk. What's wrong, Mom? I ask. She says, Dad had another attack. Now, don't worry. I'm going hospital. See you two at game. Vroom. Her car starts. JB, what should we do? I ask. He's no longer listening to music, but his tears are loud enough to dance to. He laces his sneakers, runs out of our room. The garage door opens. I hear flop, flop, flop from the straws on the spokes of his bicycle wheels as he follows Mom to the hospital. I hear the clock, tick-tock, tick-tock. I hear Dad, you should play in the game, son. A horn blows. I hear slam, slam, slam as I shut the door of Vandi's dad's car. I hear screech, screech, screech as we pull away from the curb on our way to the county championship game. During warm-ups, I missed 4 layups in a row, and Coach Hawkins says, Josh, you sure you're able to play? It's more than okay if you need to go to the hospital with your fam. Coach, my dad is going to be fine, I say. Plus, he wants me to play. Son, you telling me you're okay? Can a deaf person write? Music? I ask Coach. He raises his eyebrows, shakes his head, and tells me to go sit on the bench. I excuse myself to the locker room to check my cell phone, and there are texts from Mom. Text messages from Mom part 2. 5:47. Dad's having complications, but he's going to be fine and says he loves you. Good luck tonight. Dad's going to be fine, Jordan says. He still doesn't feel like playing, but I made him. Go to the game to show support. Look for him and don't get lazy on your crossover. For Dad. My free throw flirts with the rim and loops twirls for a million years, then drops, and for once we're up 49-48. 5 dancers on stage leaping, jumping, so high, so fly. 11 seconds from sky, a hard drive, a fast break. Their best player slices the thick air toward the goal. His pull-up jumper floats through the net. Then everything goes slow motion. The ball, the player. Coach calls timeout with only 5 seconds to go. I wish the ref could stop the clock of my life. Just one more game, I think my father is dying. And now I'm out of bounds when I see a familiar face. Behind our bench, my brother, Jordan Bell, head buried. In sweet tea, his eyes welling with horror. Before I know it, the whistle blows, the ball in my hand, the clock running down, my tears running faster. The last shot. 5. A bolt of lightning on my kicks. The court is sizzling. My sweat is drizzling. Stop all that quivering, 'cause tonight I'm delivering. I'm driving down the lane, sliding. 4. Dribbling to the middle, gliding like a bald eagle. The crowd is rumbling, rustling, roaring. Taking it to the hoop. Take it to the hoop. 3, 2. Watch out, 'cause I'm about to get dirty with it. About to pour filthy sauce all over you. Oh, did you see McNasty cross over you? Now I'm taking your ankle, breaking you. You're on your knees, screaming, please, baby, please. 1. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's up, up, up. My shot is flowing, flying, fluttering. Oh, the chains are jingling, ringling, and swingling. Swish. Game over.